It just went. Lots of things happening. Oh, it is.
Hopefully my Oprah's not $50.
Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started in just 1 minute. Thanks for joining us.
Wait, I'm in the meeting, David. Hello.
Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started in just 1 minute. Please enter on mute unless you're saying hello, which we would love. And we'll get started in just 1 minute. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're speaking yet. I mean, it started at 9, but. Hi.
Okay, let's go ahead and start kicking things off. I'm going to hand this over to Amy and Denise and Elisa and everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on this chilly morning. We are very excited to host our first Rewarding Work webinar. My name's Amy Blaze, and here at DDS, I serve in the capacity of the Self-Determination Director in the North Region. And today, I'm joined by my colleagues and our Deputy Commissioner, who will also introduce themselves in just a minute. As well, you're going to meet the stars of today's presentation, our Rewarding Work partners. Just a couple things to note before we begin. For those of you that have access to the chat, please feel free to post your questions and we will make our best attempt to keep a good eye on that and answer them as they come in. We do have time at the end for some questions that may not have been answered in the chat. And we will use the hand raising feature during that period so that we can make sure that your questions are answered in order. We are recording this presentation and we hope that you'll find this resource really helpful for you in your staffing endeavors. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to our Deputy Commissioner Velardo to introduce herself, followed by our regional self-determination directors and rewarding work.
Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Elisa.
Hi, everyone. I'm Elisa Velardo, Deputy Commissioner for DDS. It's really good to see so many familiar faces here today. I want to welcome you. I'm really excited for today's webinar. I've been hearing really, really good things about the enhanced features of rewarding work, and I'd love to welcome our colleagues from rewarding work. I'm excited for today's presentation and looking forward to seeing what you have to show. And with that, I'll turn it back to Amy Blaze.
I'm going to hand it right over to Denise to introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Denise Palladino. I am the Self-Determination Director in the South Region. And, the department recognizes that self-directed services is an amazing, flexible service choice option for many folks, and that there are some challenges around, recruitment of employees. And so we work together with Rewarding Work to put together some information to kind of help you guys in this process. So I'm excited for today, and I'm going to pass it over to Chelsea.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chelsea Houston, and I am the Self-Determination Director in the West Region. Just to piggyback off of what my colleagues have said here this morning, I'm hopeful that today's presentation is informative and helpful for everyone here. I will put my contact information in the chat if anybody wants to reach out with any questions, and I hope that today is as great as I think it's going to be. Thank you all for coming.
All right. And at this point, I'm going to introduce our rewarding work partners, Teresa Driscoll and Linda Norton. Thank you so much for being here. You're on mute, Teresa.
Hi, sorry about that. I'm Teresa, and my colleague Linda is here as well on the webinar. So we're very happy to have this opportunity to go over the website features with you. What we'll do is first take you through a short slideshow, and then we'll go live into the website and demonstrate how to register and subscribe, how to search applicants, and how to post a job. So I will share my screen now for the slideshow. Okay, so I hope everyone can see this. So we can also make the screens available following the presentation. We have some important contact information on the first couple of slides. So these are the DDS contact people. These are their rewarding work contact people. And so Edinosa is someone else who works directly for rewarding work, and he is out on the road today. A big part of his job is making connections and recruiting job applicants to the site. So this, what I want to do is just give you a brief background on rewarding work. I know some of you have used us in previous years, but we were established in 2004. We were actually the first website of its kind to be devoted exclusively to helping families find matches to support people of all ages with disabilities. So we were a standalone nonprofit for from 2004 until 2018. And at that time, we became part of a large human service agency in Dedham called TIL. So once we merged, it gave us additional resources to expand our reach, which we are very grateful for. And you know what, one of the highlights of this program, and we'll talk more about this. So Rewarding Work is a subscription-based website, but it's free of charge for anyone with DDS eligibility. And so the benefits of using Rewarding Work is that you can find and hire the support that is right for you. So it is a self-direction tool, and it gives you the control to go in and search for applicants and post jobs and really focus on connecting the right person with your needs. And when I demonstrate, I'll show you how to start a free access code subscription. Once you register and subscribe, you have full access to our site. So you'll be able to search for applicants who live near you and have the qualifications that you're looking for. And you'll be able to post jobs on our job board. This screen basically is highlighting the DDS access code. So it's a single access code that is used statewide. And when you enter this, your free subscription will start. So quickly, one other thing we thought would be important to do is to let you know about a couple of recent success stories. So one great thing about Rewarding Work as well is if you ever have questions or need support, we have people who are in the office here, and we can support you by email or website chat, but we love talking to people on the phone too. And this is one of the ways we learn about our success stories. So I have two people who shared recent stories with me. One person named Frank has a 30-year-old son who he has successfully hired support for. So the first person he hired using Rewarding Work was about 2 years ago. And he says that that person is doing just an amazing job, that she really has become almost part of the family. Frank's son attends a day program, but they schedule a lot of he's involved in the community, and he does a lot of activities with Special Olympics and Best Buddies, but they needed someone to help get him out into the community so that he can do these activities that really gives him a wonderful, well-rounded life. So Carol works about 4 days a week for them. And Frank shared that he actually just hired another support person about a week ago, just to help out and do, work some extra hours. So they're very happy that Rewarding Work was able to assist them with that. And I recently spoke with another woman, a woman named Laurel, and her son as well is early 30s. He does go to a day program, and again, they need someone to support the family. And a big part of the support is helping Jacob get out into the community. And one thing Laurel said is that this support is really support for the whole entire family, because it's supporting their son, but it's giving the family a much needed support and a break from caregiving demands. So here is a simple graphic on how rewarding work works. So as I mentioned, first you'll create an account, you'll subscribe, and then you can search applicants or post a job, and many people do both. And then once you are able to identify some candidates who may be a good match, you would interview them. Then we say hire. There of course would be a couple of other steps in between, background checks with the fiscal intermediary and so forth. Basically, so the search function allows you to search by zip code, so you can find someone who lives in your general vicinity, and then you can customize your search to find applicants who really, you know, hopefully will be able to meet your family's needs. And posting a job, which I'll demonstrate. What's great about our job board is that it's very current. So you can post a job and it will stay on our job board for 30 days. If you hire someone before the 30 days is over, you can take the job down. If the job expires and you have not yet hired someone, you can repost it. So what's great about this is we keep the job board as active as possible, and that's something we do with our job applicants as well. So when an applicant completes an application with us, their application will remain active on our site for 90 days. And at that point, if they have not gone in and renewed their application, we suspend them. They can always reactivate it, but it's a system we have in place to keep the database truly as active as possible. So as mentioned, we've been able to make some really great updates to the website. The website is mobile friendly, ADA compliant. It's compatible with screen readers. It's what we can see is that we have about 50% of our users in Connecticut who access the website on a computer, and the other 50% use a mobile device. So it's the site is very easy to use on whichever platform is better for you. So our search engine helps to customize searches. And as I mentioned, the job board is able to store your jobs and allow you to edit them as necessary. So one of the best changes we've made in recent years is adding a dashboard. So once you register and subscribe, every time you log into your website, you will be brought to your dashboard, and that's where you can handle your account. So from your dashboard, you can go to our search feature or post a job. You can go into your jobs folder and you can set your notifications. So notifications is one of the newest features that we offer. So you can opt in to be notified whenever a new applicant in your area completes an application, which is a great feature, meaning you don't have to log in every time you want to see if anyone new is available. You will be notified. You can opt into notifications and by text if you would prefer that, to email. We have a great translation feature. So again, this is something I'll show you when I do the website demonstration. So the website can be translated to something like 35 languages, and it translates all of the forms on the website as well. We have a chat feature. So we're basically trying to make it as easy as possible for people to get in touch with us. So we, as I mentioned, we can support you by phone, email, or chat. We have some great training videos that describe the entire process, and I'll show you where you can find those. We have a share this job button on the job board, which is great because what we've found is that people may look at jobs and they may say, oh wow, that sounds like an amazing job, but it's not in my area, and then this applicant may choose to share it with a friend. This is an example of our Connecticut employer flyer, which has the access code. So we can make this flyer available to anyone who wants it. And these are just some quick statistics on the number of people who are currently using rewarding work. So right now we have about 180 active employers. So it would be families and individuals who are using the site with a DDS access code. And as I mentioned, the subscriptions are for 12 months and they are renewable annually. And 225 job applicants is the number of job applicants at the end of November. And again, this number fluctuates because once someone finds a job, they will suspend their application, and so they will no longer be on the site, but then they're able to reactivate their application whenever they're looking for work again. So this screen just shows what I'll demonstrate when I go to the website. So I will just make a quick change here and I will share the website with you. Okay, so this is the Rewarding Work website. And we are a subscription-based website, and we're based in Massachusetts. So we offer the directory in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Kansas. But we have a unique landing page for Connecticut. So the URL is rewardingwork.org/CT. So this page gives you specific information about hiring, looking for candidates in Connecticut. It talks about who has free access to the site. We have a link to the training videos right here. And the training videos are available in either English or Spanish. And they're short videos. They're 60 to 90 seconds, but they very succinctly explain the process of using the site. So we do have so for example, we have another page that you can click into and you can download the flyers that I showed you in the PowerPoint. And we also have a link to the DDS website. But if we go back to the main Connecticut landing page, when you land on it, if you scroll down a little bit, you can start the subscription process. So when sorry, I was logged in. I just need to log out. Okay, so what you would do is click subscribe, and this brings you to the screen where you choose whether you're looking for a job or you're looking to hire. So I will click I need to hire. Here, what I do is enter my email address. And I create a password. Then I confirm the password. I have to check that I'm not a robot. And so then on this page, we do collect profile information. This information is never shared with anyone. It is for our own internal use so that we know who's using the site. So we do ask where you heard about rewarding work, and down at the bottom there is a link to terms and conditions. We ask people to read because it does include a lot of important information about using the website. So once you've read the terms and conditions, you would click save. If you forget a field, as I just did, you'll see a little error message. So now that I've registered, what I want to do next is subscribe. So I click have an access code. And the reason you see these other buttons is that we do offer paid subscriptions on the site as well for people who aren't connected with their state's program. So if I click have an access code, on this next page, I enter Connecticut DDS Connect. So now my subscription has started and I'm on my dashboard. So the notification center, which I can show you quickly, is where I can go in and I can opt. The default notification is email. I can opt into text messaging. And here we ask if you would like notifications for new applicants near you. So I'll click save, and my settings are now saved. If you choose text notifications, there is a quick verification process that happens automatically. So anytime you want to return to your dashboard, if you click on your name, you can select dashboard. So from here, the first thing I'll do is show you how to search on the site. So the applicant search is it's a great search feature. As I mentioned, rewarding work is we do operate in several states, so it's a shared job board. So if you see someone from Massachusetts, it's because of that fact. But there would be times if you're searching in Connecticut that you may see someone from Massachusetts. If someone lives on the border, you could have a Massachusetts resident saying they're interested in working in Connecticut. So what I'll do first is just a simple zip code search. So I just chose the New Haven zip code, which I see for the first person on the list. So if I'm searching in New Haven, I can see that there are 34 applicants who live in my area. And this is a listing of the applicants. When you see an updated tag next to an applicant's name, it means that the applicant recently updated their application, which indicates they're looking for work. If you see a new tag, it means the person's submitted an application for the first time. And these tags disappear after 2 weeks, but it's a good way to let you know who's really actively looking for work. And that, that's often people at the very top of the list. Another thing, just so you know, we encourage applicants to go in and renew their application when they're looking for work. And every time they renew their application, their name does go to the top of the list. So now that I have 34 results, what I can do now is add filters so that I can narrow down my list of applicants a bit. So here you do want to select your state because the filters depend on the state application that the applicant completed. So here I would select Connecticut. I could say I'm looking for someone to work evenings. I would like for them to have a valid driver's license and I would like for them to have experience with autism. So now if I go back and search, so I pretty much cut my list in half. So again, the more filters you add, the your list will keep getting smaller, the more filters that you add. But here, so now I have a pretty good list of people. To see someone's profile, you click on their name, and up at the very top is their contact information. If you skip down just a couple of fields, we do ask the applicant the best way to contact them. So this person, is willing to be contacted by email, phone, or a text message. And so here, if you go down, you'll be able to take a look and get a sense if this person would be a good person to follow up with. So here we do ask how many miles would they be willing to travel for a job. This person says 20. Are you interested in occasional overnight travel out of state, which can come in handy if someone is going away for a weekend and needs some support. We ask about training and certifications here. So for example, this year, this person says they've worked in the human services medical field for 30 years. They talk about the type of duties they performed. And so there's just a lot of really good information. And some applicants upload a resume. It is not mandatory, but that's also another helpful piece to look at. If you see that a resume is attached, you would just click on it and open it. So we consider this really the first step in the screening process. So once you look at an applicant profile, you can get a feeling whether, whether you'd like to consider them. And then you can, go ahead and contact them. And what people usually would do is they would contact and say that they're using rewarding work to find and hire support. You know, I saw your name on the rewarding work website. I'm interested in finding out if you're still looking for a job opportunity, and I'd like to tell you about the position I'm hiring for. So again, often the first contact, whether it's by email or phone, it gives both parties a sense of whether they would like to go to the next step, which is most often an in-person interview. So that's the applicant search function. So now I'll go back to my dashboard and I'll show you how to post a job. So posting a job involves completing a web form. So the job ID title is really just for your own purpose to keep track of your job. So the job ID title is not posted. You would choose the type of caregiver that best fits what you're looking for, and then choose the age of the person who needs support. We do ask where you need support, because sometimes that does vary from where you live. And again, everything you check will appear in the job posting. So if I check I need support mornings and afternoons, the hourly pay rate is optional. People do include the hourly pay rate more often than not. Again, we ask for an approximate number of hours per week. If you go down a little further, you can check off other requirements, whether it's needing a driver's license, heavy lifting, CPR, if you need bathing, if there's something here, if you have other needs that aren't covered in the list, you can add something. You can so you can really add anything else. Okay, so now I'll go back to the description. And this is one of the most important parts of the job posting. So here is really your chance just to let someone know what the job entails, and to give them a good feeling of what the job is all about. So I'm just adding tests so that I can show you how the job is posted. And then we can even look at a couple of current postings on the site to see how people approach the job description. So here I can click preview and I can see what the job will look like when it's posted. So it looks okay to me. So I'll go back to editing and then I click save. So as soon as I click save, I get a confirmation that the job was posted. And so now I'll go back to my dashboard, and if you go into your jobs folder, you'll see that your job is posted, is live in the job folder. Anytime you want to, you can go in and edit it and make changes. You can unpublish the job as well. So here I'll just save it again. But from my jobs folder, I can also view the job board. So this is the sample job that I just posted. So here is one in Waterford, Connecticut. And so you can see here, you know, people, you're really able to add as much detail to the job description as you'd like. Walcott, Connecticut. So I think what's interesting is when you look at the job board, you'll see people are looking for so many, every job is really unique. So people are looking for many types of support, and our goal is to recruit and find job candidates who are on our website, who are, you know, able, you know, who have a good experience and really help people find great matches. So I'll just log. So what I'll just show you is if I log in as a job applicant. So a job applicant goes through the process of completing an application, and then they have a similar dashboard where they can go in and update their application whenever they need to. And so once they complete an application, applicants know that employers are able to contact them. They have agreed to that in the terms and conditions. Excuse me. And then applicants can search for the care jobs from their dashboard. So this will bring the applicants to the job board. And if I go into, okay, excuse me. So this, I went in and I tried to apply for this job. It's not letting me, and I'm getting a message that I need to reactivate my account to do so. So what I'll do is I just go back to my dashboard, I reactivate my account, and now I can go back to this job. And this is what the applicant sees. So toward the bottom, there's a box where an applicant can let you know that they're interested in your position and why. So once an applicant clicks submit, you will receive an email from Rewarding Work letting you know that an applicant is interested in your position. As part of the email, we share this cover letter that the applicant wrote, and then a link to the applicant's profile. So at this point, the applicant has doesn't know any information about who's, you know, the employer. So that is all confidential until you're at the point where you want to contact an applicant to talk about your job. Then of course you'd be you know, sharing your name and contact information. So those are the major ways to use Rewarding Work to find and hire. If a couple of other things I had mentioned, here you can find our training videos. We have videos for employers and applicants. There, they show you how to register and subscribe with an access code, post a job, and search caregivers. So basically everything I just went over, the videos do show you, and the same for applicants. So our goal is really to make the website easy to use. It's pretty intuitive, but as I mentioned, you know, if you're using it, if you have questions, if you ever get stuck, you know, you can reach out, and we're always happy to support you in any way that we can. So think um I think those are the major things on the website I wanted to go through. And
Thank you so much, Teresa.
sure, I was just going to say to Denise or Amy or Chelsea or Linda, is there anything that you would like to see me explain that I may not have? Or
Well, I think we can maybe open it up for questions at this point,
okay,
and we'll see where that leads us. I've tried to keep an eye on the chat. I know that I've tried to answer several questions as we've traversed the PowerPoint here. Let's see. Denise, if you wouldn't mind just checking back in the chat just to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yep.
But we have a question here from Valerie. Does DDS monitor how the match is going, or once the match is made, is it up to the matched applicants to determine success? So I think what you're asking, when you're an employer and you're hiring from the Rewarding Work website, as the employer, it's up to you to really, you know, interview, hire, and manage your staff. So when you say, you know, does DDS monitor it? I mean, you would talk about how the employee is doing in the text of your person-centered planning, but it really is incumbent upon the employer to make sure that that monitoring and that it is a good match. So I hope
Yeah,
that
so
answers
to
your question.
kind of couple on what Amy was saying, you know, DDS is not the employer. You guys, self-directing services, are responsible for that hiring, recruiting, or training, retention, and meeting the needs of the individual through all of that training and individual care plan. So we don't vet. Rewarding Work does not vet. However, there's a question in here too from Anne. Can anybody apply to be a caregiver? So yeah, anyone can put their resume and their availability on Rewarding Work. However, when an employer of record or potential employer of record reaches out to you, that criminal background check process will happen at that end during the enrollment process, the hiring process.
By the FI. Did you?
Correct, by the FI. Yeah. What other questions?
Okay, so what is the info to get started, and what is a contact phone number to call for help? Okay, so if you scroll back in the chat, you'll find several different links. There's the info sheets and some of the contact information and the website are contained in this chat. So if you scroll backwards, I can also screenshot what Teresa has up here, if that makes it easier for you. And here's a telephone number right here. And I'm going to pop this into the chat for you. Coming at you. Okay. And thank you, Lauren, for putting that in as well. Can Rewarding Work support those that speak Spanish on the phone?
So we can make arrangements to. We do, as a large human service agency, we have people who speak Spanish who we can enlist to help us translate. One thing we do is we often use Google Translate functions to help people. And so, for example, when we can immediately handle any sort of email, chat, or tech support in another language by using a translation function. And a phone call we can also handle. We may have to make arrangements to say give them a call back in an hour once we have someone available to help translate.
Great, thank you.
I want to elaborate a little bit on Anne Marie's question, because where Anne Marie asked, can anyone apply to be a caregiver? Just to note, rewarding work cannot stop anyone from applying to be a caregiver. But if someone is on a DDS registry, that's not something that rewarding work can vet out. But rest assured that when your FI, fiscal intermediary, whether it be Allied Sunset or GTI, does the background check, anyone that is on the DDS or DSS registry will appear, and then they will notify you that this person is not eligible to be employed. So just wanted you to be aware of that there is a process to eliminate those people from employment. I hope that answers your question, Anne Marie.
Okay, and do we have any other?
Yes, thank you very
hands
much.
up?
Thank you.
All right, we had a request for the access code again. I put that in the chat. And Lauren is suggesting maybe we just discuss the FI transition for a few minutes. But before we do that, I
there's a hand
did
up.
see a
Yeah, you
hand
wanna-
up.
Yeah, Alvin, I think. Let's see.
Yep. Alvin?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was by mistake. I didn't have a question. Thank you.
Okay, no
Okay.
problem.
I think I just put mine up.
We have one more question here. It looks like I can't see exactly who has their hand up, but go ahead and give us your question.
So is it free for people to apply to it? I have a person who's not working right now who might want to apply to this. Okay.
Yep, it's free for the DSPs and it's free for the employers. So all around access for everybody.
Yeah, and we actually encourage, if you guys are currently self-directing and have staff on board and they're looking to pick up extra hours, absolutely share the information with them. We're trying to get a robust pool of candidates, so it's through word of mouth. I know Rewarding Work does a lot of marketing and promoting, and grassroots really does help, especially if you're working with somebody who you feel has really good skill set already. That would be good for another individual or family. So yeah, absolutely. And I know there were some questions, Aim, about the, Lena Esposito has a question. Sorry, Lena, go ahead.
Did the person needs to have a social security, or they can work with the tax ID?
So you're referring to, so they would have to meet the Connecticut employment requirements. So are you asking
There-
if the person is an employer of record and they want to work for somebody and want to use their tax ID number?
No, it just, they have a lot immigrants that they don't have the social security, but
Okay,
sometimes they apply with the tax ID number.
Yeah, so I
Then
think the I-9 would be your best
Mhm.
document to look up, because you've got 3 different categories on an I-9 that will give you some information about what you might be able to use as identification in the hiring process. And maybe
Your
Teresa, I don't know if that's something that they can connect with you on, doing an overview of that I-9 to see if the tax ID number would be sufficient.
I want to
Dan's
jump in
gonna
here.
jump
but
in.
I think the fiscal intermediary will help you with that
Yep.
because the
Yep.
FI is the person that will onboard all new employees. So your FI, fiscal intermediary, is Allied Sunset, GTI. They will be the ones that will let you know exactly what documents are needed. So that's part of the application process.
Right.
This
And
is
Dan, I
more
think
for
I was speaking from perhaps a DSP that was looking for work. So
Correct.
if they
Yes.
if they aren't an employer, they wouldn't have access to an FI. So
Correct.
you could actually go online to on the national, and on a DOL or state DOL and look at that I-9 form just to get some information. But it does depend if you're on the DSP side or the EOR side. You probably don't have an FI as a potential DSP.
Mhm.
So. All right, any other questions in here before we look at the
Aim, I looked it up. I'm going to put it in the chat. What
great.
folks
Thanks,
need
Denise.
to, yeah.
How does this staff recruitment process work through the marketing outreach person? So, Teresa, I'll give that question to you since you guys are the marketing professionals.
So we use many ways to outreach to people to let employers and individuals know that rewarding work exists as a hiring tool, and then to reach out to potential job candidates. So we use a variety of different. We do a lot of online work. We get our information out using social media, local, say, Facebook groups. We do some paid online advertising. And then we also do a number of in-person events. So we will connect, say, with colleges and community colleges. We get information out to, say, not only their career centers, but we will connect with programs at colleges and community colleges where students in allied health or human service types of majors would be looking for this type of work. We work with other stakeholders in Connecticut. So we go to the American Job Centers in Connecticut, and we make connections with a lot of other community organizations too. So we do. We also we're very active with people who use our site and will run campaigns encouraging people to share information about rewarding work with friends and people they know, because no matter what we do, we always discover that word of mouth is still one of the best ways to get our messaging to people.
Thanks, Teresa. We have a couple minutes left, and I just wanted to make people aware that I did put an image of the new FI enrollment process and our timeline. I'll be putting the timeline in there. I'm sorry, I thought I put the timeline in. I will pop that in there for you as well. Do you also have DCF background search? So the FI usually will do the criminal background search and reference our registry. It's not specific to DCF. So I'm not sure if you're talking about a separate DCF registry. But we do, do the the FI will do the criminal background check and the registry check on the DDS side. Before we close, I mean, we just have 1 minute, but Denise, do you want to just kind of give I'm going to pop in the timeline for GT. So if you want to just kind of give a quick note about the impending changes that we have going on with our FIs.
Sure. So I'm hoping that everybody was notified that DDS, DSS, and ADS, the 3 state agencies, have contracted with GT Independence, the new fiscal intermediary for all 3 state agencies for all folks who self-direct their services. We have been working collaboratively with other 2 state agencies on a transition plan for GT to take over. All folks who were brand new to self-directing as of December 1st will be enrolled through GT Independence. So that's the first kind of start date for folks to think about. We have actively begun a pilot group who are either a combination of DDS, DSS, or just strict DSS or strict DDS funding, as well as ADS. So we selected a pilot group of employers of record and their applicable staff to start working with GT directly as of December 24th. So those individuals who were selected will be contacted very soon. GT notified us that they sent out the notifications last night. So case managers will be notified today of the pilot group. So for all of those folks who are currently self-directing, have an existing FI, either Sunset Shores or Allied, will be switching over to GT as of December 24th. All the other folks, go ahead, Dan. Yeah, I was getting there. That was just our pilot group. And then for all the other currently existing employers of record, the GT transition process will hopefully be all done. Everybody should be contacted by March 24 of 24. So that's our timeline of working with GT Independence. If you guys have specific questions around that, you can direct them to either any one of the SD directors, and we will follow up on those things. We have our contact information in the PowerPoint presentation. If you have a quick question now that we might be able to triage, go ahead and ask away.
So I just want to do a follow-up on that, Denise. So that means that employers, when you are looking to hire a new person, you will send that application to your current FI. Because most of you won't be transitioning until March 24th, you will continue to send those applications for your potential employees to Sunset and Allied, unless you were part of the pilot program or if you're brand new. So just wanted to make that very clear. Don't send anything to GT unless we've assigned you to them already. I am going to jump over to the GT meeting. Bye.
All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for attending today. And just remember the 3 SD directors are here to answer any questions for you. Again, our contact information is in the chat.
Real quick, Aim,
and
somebody asked about how the subscriptions work.
yeah, and I'm going to touch base with
You
Michelle
will? Okay.
afterwards because she does
Okay.
have a few more questions that
Okay, great.
I kind of wanted to hold because they were a little bit more specific, and I wanted to make sure
Okay.
that I addressed them correctly.
Okay, great.
So with that, again, thank you so much for coming today, and enjoy your day. Thank you so much to Teresa and Linda and Ednoza for putting this together for us. And we really look forward to strengthening our partnership and offering the best staffing options that we possibly can with rewarding work. So have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks.